G'day geeks, Chris here, and in this video we're looking at 3 of the new figures from the Masters of the Universe movie core line of action figures, which are the smaller and cheap $12 figures. I've got Mekanek, one of my favourites, Skeletor, and one of the Skel-Knights. So 3 new figures from the second wave. Let's have a look at them right now. And we'll also be looking at the new Battlecat, which goes along with these figures. So yes, this is pretty awesome. So I didn't expect to get the new figures today, but as I was out and about catching up with a friend, I ducked into 2 different Kmarts, one in Victoria Park and one in Perth, where I live here in Western Australia, and managed to get the Skel-Knight, Skeletor and Mekanek, which are all from the second wave, which is pretty quick because the first wave, which is Beastman, Teela and He-Man, and you can see that video on my channel, that was only released a week ago, so they're pumping this out pretty quick. So I did take a photo of myself with all the new Master of the Universe product available at retail, because that makes me a happy middle-aged man. What a good time to be a 50-year-old nerd for sure. So yeah, pretty happy to see all of these. So I thought as soon as I get home, I'll do a quick unboxing and have a look what they're all about. So let's go. So this is the new Battlecat, and that goes with the smaller core figures. So this is $29 from Kmart. I've also seen it at places like Myer. So it's great to see Masters of the Universe movie product at Kmart, Target, Big W, and also Myer. So they're pretty readily available here in Australia, which is awesome. I've also seen the Chronicles Battlecat on retail only at Myer, and that was like $89, I think $90. So expensive, sure, but you know, it's pretty big. It's a lot bigger than this. But this is the one that has the sound effects and whatnot, so I'm pretty keen to open this up. It's a bit ripped because when I went to pick it up, Kmart had already packaged it up for me and sellotaped it all, so it was a bit hard to get rid of, but pretty cool packaging. Got the Castle Grayskull there, and we got the He-Man riding on the back, and we've got the familiar yellow, which is what this packaging shows. So a lot of the core figures, they show yellow for the good guys and purple for the bad guys. And here we've got Beastman, Teela and He-Man, also from the core line, which is from wave 1, and we looked at that in a previous video. And the back of the package says, Battlecat charges into the battle against Skeletor alongside He-Man. Press to chomp and roar, which is pretty cool. So yes, that's pretty much all Battlecat. He looks pretty good out of the packet, but of course we're going to open him up. Outside of the packet, we actually get a pretty good look in the back there of Castle Grayskull and the bridge with the big giant statues that we've seen in the trailers, which is pretty cool. And yes, straight out of the box, he also comes with his tail outside, so that basically just needs to be assembled. So I assume, yep, there's a little okay, there's a little plug hole, so that just goes in straight like that. Oh gosh. Okay, a bit of force, but it does go in, and basically it's just on a ball joint, so it moves up and down and around, which is pretty cool. And then you'll see that this big plastic thing is obviously for the sound. So in the packet, he won't you know, make any noises until you remove this. So let's do that now. Hopefully we could just pull it out. Yep, cool. And here's the moment of truth. Is he going to actually roar? Wow, that's actually louder than I was expecting. Oh, okay. Nice. So it's got a few different sounds, like a snarl, a growl. Well, they sound different to me. Yeah, very happy with that. That is pretty awesome. And we can see he's obviously got the lovely green with the yellow stripes, which we are very familiar with for all our Battlecats. And the saddle looks cool with some great detail on it as well. As I said, this is $29 here in Australia, and yes, the saddle's not removable, but obviously this is part of the core line, so the paint applications are minimal, but that is pretty cool. So it's good that it goes with this scale with the core inch figures. Articulation, so his hind legs, well, I can hear the ratchet joints. That's pretty impressive. Nothing on the ankles or the toes, anything like that, and the same the same on the front legs. as well. So really just, yeah, it looks like 4 points of articulation on the legs, so no knees, and the head doesn't move or anything because obviously the electronics are in there, but as you press the button down on his saddle, his head goes down and his mouth opens and closes. Lovely white teeth, obviously goes to Attorney's finest dentist, and lovely red tongue and the yellow eyes as well. So pretty awesome. So yeah, pretty similar design and pretty hefty as well. So pretty cool. Let's throw a figure on him and see what the scale looks like. Here's He-Man from the core line, just giving him a bit of a scratch, and I do realise now that there are actually some ankle joints there on the front legs only. So yes, he does have a bit of footwork there, but not anything on the hind legs. So let's see if He-Man can actually fit on him. Pretty cool. I mean, the scale looks pretty accurate, doesn't it? So yes, you can see my review of this guy in a previous video. Let's throw him on the saddle. Oh gosh. Okay, let's throw him on. His skirt piece kind of gets in the way a little, but that's alright. Oh look, his sword's fallen over. It's all going pear-shaped. Let's put that back in. And let's move the camera up a bit. That looks pretty cool. Yeah, that looks about what we're used to. He looks pretty comfortable on there. Not too big, not too small, just right. So yeah, that looks pretty awesome. So a $29 Battlecat figure. I'm glad that they haven't like muted the colors or anything. You know, it's a green tiger. We, you know, we haven't heard him talk in any of the trailers. We haven't seen Cringer, so hopefully he certainly does talk in the movie. That would be awesome to see, because obviously that's what we're used to. But I like the whole design of him. It's very familiar, and just a little kind of filigree, whatever they call it, just the nice little patterns on the saddle, and there's nothing going under, but this is just kind of permanently on anyway. And that kind of mask there reminds me of a gladiatorial helmet or something like that. But yeah, pretty cool for the kids. It's awesome that it makes noises, and He-Man certainly looks pretty comfortable riding Battlecat. Very happy with this for only 29 bucks. Now onto the just released wave 2 of the core figures. So these are the smaller figures with somewhat limited articulation. 12 bucks, absolutely awesome. And you would have seen hopefully the other ones in shelves near you. So we've got Skel-Knights, which I think are somewhat new to the Master of the Universe lore franchise. So this, I guess, looks like a Minions of Skeletor. So yeah, it's just kind of to make up his army. We've got Skeletor obviously here, and one of my favourites, who's just had a bit of a spotlight in some recent TV spots and trailers, Mekanek with his extendable neck. One of my favourite figures as a kid. The packaging is what we're familiar with. Mekanek there, heroic human periscope. So you consider using the same descriptor language that they used in the original vintage figures as well. Skeletor, evil Lord of Destruction, and Skel-Knight doesn't even get a description, so that one makes me think they're just, you know, cannon fodder. We turn them over, and we've got, as I said, the same as wave 1, yellow for the good guys, and all the bad guys have purple, and just like the first wave, they match up. And they've also got the little bios here, which are strength, weapons mastery, I guess, robotics or tech stuff, speed, and I mean, this is a new one for Mekanek, sight, so he's got 10 out of 10, so that's a different one. And Skeletor, obviously, we have strength, weapons, magic, you know, tech, and I guess, what does the skull represent? Evil. And the same here. So no numbers like the first wave had. But yes, you can see that it's out of 10 squares. So he's very evil, and Mekanek has the ultimate, you know, sight. Not sight beyond sight. It's not a Thundercat, but pretty cool. So yeah, simple packaging, simple, you know, back on the back, but you know that they're a good guy, and I guess you get a bit of a blurb about them. So even if you haven't seen the movies or know anything about this character, you've got a little bit of information to go with anyway. Let's open these up. You look at this and you know straight away that it's Mekanek, so it's wonderful that the movie designs aren't a massive departure from the cartoon and previous toys. So we've got the blue kind of flight suit, and we've got the red chest piece done in a very similar style, and we've got the red helmet with the green kind of visor and the triangle shapes and the mechanical neck. All the things which we know and expect from our Mekaneck designs, which is absolutely awesome. He comes with 2 accessories. One is for his extending neck piece, very similar to what the Origins style done as well. So it's not an action feature where it just goes up and down. It's not a telescopic neck. It's more of a segments that you can place on. He's already got one on at the moment. He also comes with a gun, which is pretty cool. At first I thought, oh, I wonder if this is the same. Well, I expected it to be the same gun that Teela came with, but actually it's not. This is the one that Teela came with, and we can see that it's actually a bit longer. So nice work, Mattel. Not reusing the same mold, so that's pretty impressive. So having a bit of a closer look at Mekaneck. So simple blue flight suit, lovely bold colours. Looks like he's got some cogs or something there on his shoulders, and it looks like he's also got a bit of electronics or some kind of bionic cyborg, I guess he is, behind the red chest plate there, and some brown boots, and yes, kind of simple articulation as well, but pretty cool for 12 bucks. And yeah, you can get him into some good poses. His belt kind of moves up and down and out of the way, and yes, just single jointed elbows. His wrists turn and his neck turns as well. But let's just take off his head. Cool. And pop on the other one to give him an extra long neck, and pop on the other. Oh gosh, that's a bit stiff, but there we go. Okay, there we go, Mekaneck. So as I said, it's not like an action feature. There's no button you push on the back or anything. It's basically just 3 different neck sections or 2 that you can place on him, and yeah, pretty rotated as well because they're all on ball joints. So the trailer has his light neck kind of whipping around like an actual whip, and he's got a smile on his face on the trailer, and even on here as well, on his card back, which is cool. So yeah, pretty detailed, you know, blues, reds, all that kind of stuff. But yes, they've done it all out. Even like his fingers and his elbows have some nice detail. It's got pockets on the back, so they haven't skimped on these for 12 bucks, which is pretty cool. There's no place for him to store the gun by the looks of it, but he does have a trigger finger, which is lovely. So just put that in his hand, and there we go. Mekaneck ready to be a human periscope and shoot some Skel-Knights. Love it. Here is Skel-Knight, the minions, I'm assuming, of Skeletor. So less paint and less colours than Mekaneck, but that's okay. He's grey and black mainly, with some tattered robes. So I guess at $12 you could build these up and make a whole army of them. So are they like, you know, reanimated soldiers or dead soldiers of the Skeletor's kind of brought back to life? Who knows? But yeah, they've kind of got the same black sinewy body, so I'm assuming that's Skeletor's doing, and some paint applications on the shoulder and the back there as well, and yes, similar articulation obviously. The shoulder parts move out of the way, they're soft plastic, and he does have this skirt piece, which you may think, oh, that gets in the way of articulation, but thankfully there's a little tab here so that can be removed. So there we go. So I guess if you do an army build these, and you know, 12 bucks each, buy a few, you can have some with the, you know, skirt piece on, some without, some with weapons, some without, so it gives them all different looks, which is nice. The sword fits easily into either hand, and it's kind of doesn't come to a point or anything, but it's an interesting sword design. It's basically just got like a flat end, which is pretty nice, all in one color. So yeah, not a lot to say about this Skel-Knight. Same articulation that we've come to know and love, but yeah, pretty awesome. So they certainly look evil and scary and terrifying. Here is the Evil Lord of Destruction, Skeletor himself. So we've got the blue and the purple and the yellow face, which the skull has some nice texture on it actually, and some red eyes and the black recesses there. The jaw isn't articulated, but the cape, the cloak, is a bit of a hard plastic, and you've got a bit of a hood flap there as well, and some nice texture on his, you know, blue skin, and the tunic piece and the boots. Like, yeah, they've really gone all out with the texture and that kind of stuff, and the similar articulation as well, which is lovely. The tunic isn't removable. There's no flap or anything like that, but that's fine, it doesn't get in the way. And this is his lovely Havoc staff as well, with some blue eyes and some nice texture on that as well, and he can hold that very easily in either hand. So yes, pretty awesome. So I'm very happy to see Master Universe movie stuff on the shelves, and I reckon for $12 you're gonna go home a very happy adult or child. Like, there's a lot of figures on the shelves at the moment. There's Transformers and wrestling and Mario Brothers and Pokemon and Simpsons and all that kind of stuff. But for $12 you get a cool figure, lovely card back, and at least one accessories with some pretty good detail and articulation. So very happy to add the latest 3 to the core line from the Masters Universe movie. Pretty awesome, eh? So this is $101 worth. So $12 times 6 figures plus the $29 Battlecat. So for just over $100 you can get a whole collection for yourself or your kids or whatever. That's pretty awesome. So I'm very happy with Mattel and just how they keep pumping out these Masters of the Universe movie figures, and these are very accessible, highly detailed, and very poseable as well, with great articulation. And it's great that we can actually see these before we see the movie. We can see what the characters look like, which is pretty great. So thank you for watching all the way to the end. Let me know in the comments down below, are you a fan of this core line in particular, and are you happy that they are so cheap and so readily available? We'll catch you in the next video. There's plenty more Master Universe movie figure reviews to come. Goodbye, geeks.